San Jose in 1933 was a modest community of approximately 60,000 people, despite having the distinction of being California's first capital. Today, the population of San Jose hovers around 1 million. In 1933, San Jose's major shopping source, Hart's department store, was located on the southeastern corner of Market and Santa Clara Streets, downtown. Giant department stores in the 1930s until the 1960s were the shopping and social mecca before urban decentralization and multi-store shopping malls. The department store has been replaced by high-rise commercial office structures in the downtown core. The Hart family was well respected locally and wealthy, but not considered pretentious. They represented examples to be emulated back when role models still mattered. 22-year-old Brooke Hart was being promoted and groomed to replace his father Alex Hart, who had successfully expanded the store from Patriarch Leopold Hart's modest dry cleaning business. Brooke Hart had distinguished himself as a worthy successor. He was well liked and considered the town's most eligible bachelor. Success seemed assured, until he was kidnapped November 9th, 1933. He was his trusted father's driver, as his father had never learned to drive. As he exited a parking garage, which is still a garage today, next door to the department store, to pick up his father for an evening engagement, he was reportedly approached by two men. His kidnappers forced him to drive to a nearby barn where they exchanged vehicles. They forced Brooke to drive northward through the rural countryside until he reached the ultimate destination of the San Mateo Bridge. In 1933, the bridge was privately owned and not frequently traveled. His kidnappers tied Brooke up, beat him with cement blocks, and dumped him into the frigid but shallow low-tide waters of the San Francisco Bay. He resisted, they pulled out their pistols and shot at him. Finally, silence. The real story followed 2 weeks after the killing. Two suspects were apprehended within days and signed confessions. Brooke's body was discovered on November 26th. Were the confessions of the suspects Harold Thurman and John Holmes valid, or had they been beaten out of them? There were no eyewitnesses to the event, and much of their confession presented conflicting viewpoints on the occurrence of events. The following evening, a frenzied mob stormed the Santa Clara courthouse and dragged the two suspects out into nearby St. James Park. They were strung up on a hanging tree. The event was covered by newspapers and radio nationally. Approximately 5,000 to 15,000 spectators were present for the spectacle. The images still shock. Both men hung without pants, exposing full frontal nudity to the national press. It was unprecedented. It was the final public lynching in the state of California. And what about the actual hanging tree? There are several remaining that were witnesses to that evening's gruesome public spectacle. The actual tree, however, was cut down due to its notoriety. San Jose has changed noticeably since 1933. Giant department stores, mob justice, and the memory of Brooke Hart are long forgotten. Today, we are far removed from the bloodthirsty need for vengeance without due process. Or so we've come to believe.